Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Hello, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. What is going on, everybody? Hello, and welcome to Thursday.
June 18th.
Yeah, it is. I know, getting crazy. We're getting close to July. Swamp season is here.
Father's Day is this Sunday. What you doing? You got Big Daddy plans, Big Daddy?
I don't know. We throw out a lot of things that gets me very optimistic that we wind up not doing, so I'm not sure. Right now, they're teasing me with possibly doing some paddleboarding or kayaking, and we'll see if that winds up coming through or if we just stay home and play cards. I don't know yet. Who knows?
You better whoop some ass and some cards.
I try my best. They better let me win. It's my day. It's a double banger. I got birthday and Father's Day.
Birthday
Sunday.
and Father's Day on the same day.
Now,
Yep.
do you want spanking? Do you want tickles, or do you want hugs? Because that's what they used to do to my kindergarten class on your birthday.
Well, we got to be COVID compliant. I don't know if any of those pass that threshold.
Well, we're COVID together.
Okay.
Yeah, I can spank you, or hug you, or tickle you.
Okay.
It's your world.
What if he
Okay.
wants all three?
Yeah.
That
I
was
might.
seriously what our options was in kindergarten. Tickle, spanked.
It's different era. There's a lot of things that are changing. And you just, honestly, I just keep looking at things in our society, and you're just like, how?
Yeah.
There's a lot of very odd things that have happened. And, you know, as crazy as the world seems, I do honestly think it's getting to be more sensible. It seems as insane as the world appears right now, it does appear to me to be a lot more rational than it once was.
Back when you could smoke cigarettes in the same car as your kid and keep the windows up.
There was a lot of things that were just completely insane. You're like, what were we doing? So the world actually does feel like, even though it's chaotic right now, I think, you know, we got a little bit of a hiccup burp going on, and then as soon
We've
as,
come a long way, baby, is what you're saying.
that's really what it is. I mean, I think we need a little bit of positive spin on all this kind of stuff, and that would be my positive little spin on it. Let me see. Got some emails here. Joanna, she sent one in, and she said, I'm a 30-year-old white female. Just want to share my thoughts on everything that's going on with the protests and whatnot. And I was raised to only see people, never color. However, like you, Kevin, I've been really doing a lot of research into Black history and what they don't tell you. I've listened to your podcast about it. My eyes have truly opened so much more. It was shocking how much we don't know and what they don't tell us. Even though I'm not racist and never have been, I do feel somewhat guilty being white and not being aware of what the black race goes through on a daily basis. I've realized just because we as white people don't see or hear about it on a day-to-day basis does not mean it's not happening. I think it's amazing you started the podcast, giving people a voice to share their powerful stories, because I believe white people need to stop talking and listen and educate themselves on what they do not know. All races need to come together to make real changes. Yes, agree with all that kind of stuff, Joanna. You know, the one thing that I would say about that is, you know, you did say, I do feel somewhat guilty. Honestly, that is, I think, a big part of the problem, and I think that actually is leading to a lot of the resistance that I sense from people I talk to that are white about this, is I think they're like, don't make me feel guilty. And so I'm trying to go through and say that. And even when I'm talking to the people on my panel, I say, look, this is one thing that I think is an issue. I said, you have well-intentioned white people that are out there that people are trying to shame them and make them feel guilty and being like, oh, you should be so ashamed of your white privilege and all this kind of stuff. And I said, honestly, that's a lot of the white people I'm talking to, because this was a discussion both ways. I said a lot of white people are not taking that well. They're like, I haven't done anything. Like, I feel like I'm very well-intentioned. Like Joanna is saying, I don't feel like I've necessarily contributed. I am learning more, and I'm understanding how I can be more of an advocate for this and to make some changes, but help me through the process. Nobody is going to want to jump into a process if they feel guilted into it and doing it. You should be like, hey, look, you're going to make society a better place. You can be an active part of it. We understand this is part of the education. Don't feel guilty about, where you've been, unless you've been wearing a Klan robe.
Right.
Then, you're learning. You're stepping into this, and these things have been in the forefront, so now we're having to learn a little bit. So I've kind of said that a little bit in the conversation. So to people like Joanna like that, I'd say, I'm not a big fan of coming at it from guilt, and I don't like that approach.
But it's okay if you feel a little guilty because you don't know and you've never taken time to learn about, what it's like to be black. And now you're just now seeing it and you're like, wow, okay, yeah, it does. There's a lot of sucky things that have happened for a long time to black people that don't happen to white people. And just learning about that experience and taking time to say, okay, yeah, it is different for you than it is for me in America. And I want to acknowledge that and do whatever I can to make it more fair for everybody.
I have read things and watched more things in the discussion that came up today, that Aunt Jemima and Miss Butterworth and the Uncle Ben's is all over the place. Watching 13th on Netflix, they even talked about this. You may not realize the subtle things that have conditioned you to be the way that you are. And they were saying there are even a lot of black people that have been conditioned from these images and all this kind of stuff that happens. And so, you know what? You're just a byproduct of your environment. So,
sure.
They built you to what you are. So identify it and see it and be like, okay, I'm starting to see some of the stuff that's going on. Sean hitting me with some of the stats, the crime stats on police shootings and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I've done a deep dive on that. The Washington Post, for whatever reason, has kind of been the authority on a lot of those numbers. And, he's pointing out about some of the stuff. So I did see some contradictions in those numbers as well. And where I came to, I'll give you the cliff notes of my whole little podcast and discussions things, is that kind of like how the coronavirus numbers are kind of a distraction to what the whole point of it is, and sometimes you're not going to get the exact truth on that. Some of these numbers, even from the Washington Post, I found are contradictory and kind of confusing. But the one thing, in just talking to people and hearing the personal stories of a lot of people, there has been some profiling that is going on and getting treated differently because of the color of your skin by police officers, especially when you're behind the wheel of a car in different places. And so that, I do believe in the reality of that because of what I have seen and heard from that. And so, we had a discussion with that. And the last one, what it boiled down to at the end, too, is they said, hey, this is a very deep issue. And all the other people on my panel, they took it upon themselves. And they said, there's a couple things in the black community we got to handle ourselves. And they talked about, we've got 70% of African Americans growing up without a father in the home. That was part of the discussion. And the other one was black on black crime. And they said, we need some help, but we got some problems that we got to fix in our community too. And so it's a very deep discussion when you're talking about some of the fixes. So I appreciate the people that checked it out and appreciate the emails that you send. But, go at it and have civil conversations if we possibly can to try to just learn a little bit more. And remember, tomorrow too is Juneteenth, which I'm seeing more and more states. I think even New York jumped on that. They're going to make it a holiday, a paid holiday.
I love it.
Yeah, June 19th should become a paid holiday to mark the end of slavery in America.
My bank sent me an email, said they were closing early to celebrate June 19th.
Good.
I'm like, good for you, bank.
These are all nice little subtle steps in the right direction that is really going to help out America and our society. So very cool to hear that. Got an email here about who likes wearing a mask. I do. That's what Whitney said. She said, I was listening to the KVJ After the Show podcast yesterday, and Kevin sarcastically asked, who likes wearing a mask? Is there anybody out there who's going, I love wearing my mask everywhere. It's great. Well, as a super shy introvert with social anxiety, I love wearing my mask, especially with a pair of dark shades. It's great for role playing. I feel more confident and less self-conscious when I'm wearing my mask. Also, my mom is a hospice nurse who is required to wear a mask every time she goes to work. She often wears a mask for 12 hours straight each shift without complaint, and sometimes even forgets that she's wearing one.
Wow.
Both myself and my mom love to wear our masks and never leave home without it or a backup mask just in case. People who like wearing masks are rare, but we are out there.
I'm with you, Whitney. I like wearing a mask too. My only problem is I don't like having to remember to always bring a mask on every little thing, but I do like wearing a mask. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
I stand with Whitney.
Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff.
I love that name too. Whitney's a great name.
It's a cute name.
Yeah. And we got this from Regina, who is a frontline medical worker in Delray. She said, I'd like to tell people who won't wear a mask, if you don't like wearing a mask, you're not going to like the ventilator. Okay. All righty. There you go.
Yeah, it's like you don't like wearing a condom, you're not going to like the chlamydia. Or the gonorrhea. Or just insert whatever STD you want.
Or when your dick just falls off.
What STD is that? So to me, that is the worst one.
Oh, damn, my dick just fell off.
Is that one of the signs of one of them?
That is that's a serious venereal disease.
That's the worst.
To me, that would be the worst one.
That's the worst one. Yeah.
It just falls right off.
But then it solves a lot of problems going forward.
No, because then you get imaginary boners. Like you can feel yourself getting a boner, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna jerk." Oh no, I can't.
Phantom boner.
Phantom boners. You go to whack it, and there ain't nothing to whack.
Damn.
That's what we call hell, by the way. The urge, and then there's nothing to purge. You know what I mean?
So if your dick falls off, you're not just like, oh well, it's done, and you move on. Like you have phantom boners.
I don't know if you do or not. I don't. Do you know that answer, Kev? Do you get phantom boners if your penis is removed?
It's a great question. I
Like,
don't know.
if I
I've
got-
never had my penis removed, thankfully. So
If a bear bit off my peen and then I get it stitched,
Why are you getting head from a bear?
I'm not getting head from a bear. He just
hey, you like honey?
he thought it was,
Stop drizzling honey on your dick.
he thought he found a half a hot dog.
Hey, Smokey.
He's like, oh, sweet, a beer.
Smoke this.
I'm just okay, and then I get stitches. Do you get a phantom boner? That's a great question, Virginia. Or did I come up with that question? Oh, good teamwork.
Group
I
effort.
think you just praised yourself.
Group effort for that greatness.
Got people that are going out and about, like Douglas. He said, my wife and I decided to check out the Voodoo Bayou and the Gardens Mall. I think that is downtown at the Gardens.
It is downtown at the Gardens
Yeah.
in the old space that used to be Cabo Flats, right there next to Yard House.
It also used to be a Halloween store.
Yes, it's beautiful. That was the last place that I went to before the lockdown. Me and you, we went for the private opening. They had like a little friends and family night.
Yes.
And literally, it was the week that everything started shutting down. They
It was
opened.
very unfortunate
It
timing.
was so unfortunate because they sunk a lot of money into that place. It's the same people that opened Calaveras Cantina, which is a beautiful restaurant. They did Voodoo Bayou, and they got so authentic with their decor. They got Louisiana artists to create a lot of the art that you see in there. Like the lanterns came from New Orleans, the voodoo dolls, all the artwork, all the murals on the wall. There's a handcrafted huge mural piece made of metal that's by a Louisiana artist. Like they sunk a lot of money into making that place beautiful, and just I feel so bad. They've been doing only takeout.
Yeah, they said we were outside by outside, but the decor, atmosphere, and level of detail inside was unbelievable. The food was awesome, and the staff was extremely friendly.
I love a friendly staff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the menu's great. I haven't got to dig too deep into it, but the menu is fantastic, and their selection of alcohol is super impressive.
You ever go to a restaurant and the entire staff is a bunch of assholes? You ever have that?
Yes.
Where everyone is just seriously an asshole. Even the manager.
They're angry.
Everyone's mad, and it's just complete chaos. You're like, why they? I could get this at home. I could do a family reunion.
Yeah. These places usually don't stay open very long.
No, they don't deserve to anyway.
Yeah. I've often left a place with my wife and I'll be going, 3 months, you think? And then sure enough, drive by and it's closed.
You can tell by the vibe or just the atmosphere that they're not going to last.
I mean, there are so many great places that have gone out that have stunned me. And so when I go into a bad place, you almost just be like going,
Clock's ticking.
yeah.
Then you go in the bathroom. The bathroom's all gnarly and gross. Nothing bothers me more than a gross bathroom at a restaurant.
Yeah.
No, there's no excuse.
No excuses.
There isn't. It's the front of the
There's
house,
not.
baby.
This email here, very helpful. Thank you to Bailey. Said, hey, Kev, like yourself, I've been trying to learn Spanish for years through online lessons, workbooks, audio, and apps like Duolingo, none of which were effective. The other day, I found the most amazing YouTube Spanish lesson video series. The teacher explains the content of each lesson clearly and is very engaging. Each lesson is short, just like Duolingo. Search for AIB. I went on there and it was a little bit of work, but then you can kind of find AIB. There are a couple suggestions for other AIBs, and I found the one that made sense. So I did check it out yesterday. Thank you for that. And you can see all the lessons. I've enclosed a screenshot. These lessons are far more effective, trust me. So that's Tracy in Orlando. And yeah, there is something to that. I mean, I've been doing the Duolingo, but you know, the one part that I will tell you, if somebody's talking slow, I can pick up some of the words in it. But boy, you get somebody like my father-in-law will come over and he'll just, you know.
Pacing.
Yeah, and I'm just lost. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm like, say it slowly. Like, what were you saying there? And trying to get it. And then the other thing, too, which is interesting about him, he grew up with a mama that refused to learn English. And he's like, Mom, just please learn English. And she wouldn't. So that's how he knows Spanish. But he can't write Spanish. It's very interesting. I'm like, how do you spell? He's like, I have no idea. He's like, I can't spell anything in Spanish. And I probably read Spanish better than he does. And I can spell the things for him because he'll be looking something up. And I'm like, oh, here's how you spell it. So I can read okay. Can't really speak, but he can only speak, but not necessarily read.
Together, you're a high-functioning Spanish-speaking person.
Yeah, almost, yeah. As a collective, I'm like, that's pretty interesting.
You guys could just never be apart.
Yeah, but I have realized I am coming up on November. It'll be 2 years that I've really tried to dive in and learn it using the Duolingo app. And I'm just like, okay, that seems like too long to still, like in that amount of time. And I'm putting in the time. I'm doing the work.
You're fighting the white within you, but the white's winning.
Yeah, I think part of it too, my mom had said this because she was a language teacher, that I think it's like after a certain age, maybe it was 10, if you don't learn a language by then, you will have an accent always in that language. Oh. She said that's why it's really great to get your kids learning languages and be like, why do I care? Well, they would be able to be bilingual and you could talk later to somebody in Spanish or English and they wouldn't be able to detect it.
That's why I sound slightly British. If you really listen, I have a slight...
You know they still speak English, right?
I have a British accent.
British is English.
Yeah, accent, dumb fuck. Sorry, Facebook. I know. You guys got different ears on that platform.
It just had to. It had to come out.
I was making a joke. Yeah, all right, jeez. I'm not really British. I know. I didn't mean to call you a dumb fuck. I'm sorry. That's a little harsh.
Trust me. In the past 24 hours, it's actually not the worst thing I've been called.
I was going to call you dumbass, but the F word just flew out of my mouth.
I bring that out in people.
Got an idea from Scott in Vieira for World Record Wednesday. Said, I'd love to see Kevin and Jay Bird try to beat the record of ripping 28 shirts in 1 minute, one at a time while wearing them.
Oh, I like it, brother.
They did this on America's Got Talent a couple weeks ago.
That's hard. I don't know if you got the muscles.
Probably not, but why does that stop me with any other of my failings? Let's do it.
There's that other guy, the David Rush, that keeps setting all these records during quarantine, and he just set the Guinness record by bouncing 16 ping pong balls into a pint glass in 1 minute.
Okay. I like that.
He's got more than 150 Guinness World Records now to his name.
Wow. This son of a bitch really goes for it.
Jeez.
And I say son of a bitch in a loving way. You can call someone an SOB and love them.
I get it.
Like, oh, Virginia, I love that crazy son of a bitch.
Well, I say that about girls all the time. Like, that bitch looks good.
Okay, so you get what
I get it.
You get it.
It's the same.
Mm-hmm. One discussion that came up earlier as well was you were talking about who has the better pizza. I think it was Jupiter versus Boca Raton.
I know it was a lightning rod of controversy with that statement.
I love Jupiter, but man, are you wrong.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm wrong per se. I would say I got people talking, and isn't that what we want? Conversation. We're always preaching conversation.
Boca just has so much more variety and choices and people and...
Perhaps, but perhaps not.
I mean, tell me all the Jupiter pizza places.
You got Zippy's. You got. Don't put me on the spot right now. I sense a tone with you, and I just don't. I'm off my game.
I mean, that's my hood.
Got Zippy's.
That's the same place.
And
No, you have. I can't think right now. Check out my pizza blog at Jason KVJ on Instagram, and then leave a comment of hatred, like a lot of people did.
one of the texts earlier says Boca has authentic New Haven pizza. It blows Jupiter out of the water for pizza. Jaybird.
Good. I like this. And I got to spend more time down south. People are right. Call me on my pizza bullshit. Bring it. You're right. I got to do the work down south.
And Ryan had texted in too. It says you might have to stand in line. I think the Barstool guy's in Boca this week reviewing pizzas. I saw him. He posted one. He was on the Ave in Del Rey.
I'm the low budget Barstool guy.
Oh.
Yeah. What is that? There's a pizza place starts with an S right across from Rocco's Tacos. It's like Spazzo's or something.
Yeah, I know. I saw people were sending me his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does use what? One bite? Is that his thing?
No, I don't think so. I might be wrong though.
I think he does one bite.
I've seen him eat a bunch of pizzas. I thought it was one bite, and then I watched a couple of his videos, and he's eating more than one bite. So
Okay. Well, if he really likes it, is that what it is? He rates it by how many bites he takes.
I don't know. The whole thing's making me crazy. I don't know about that Katy Perry song, Kev.
It sticks with
It's
you.
really sticking on me like smoke.
It is one of those. Yeah. It's just. Wow, it's over the top, isn't it?
I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, it does. It really.
And then so it's an earworm, but no, it's not a good earworm. I fucking want it out of my head.
Well, they say that's usually what it is. There's some kind of pattern to a lot of songs, and some of these songs just have that pattern, like this is. And they say you wind up getting the worst earworms, or it's songs you can't stand that get in your head.
I mean, I swear to you, she must say that. She must have 5 choruses in that song. She does that Daisy part a shit ton.
Yeah, it fits into those patterns. I've seen that broken down. The brain, hears things stick in certain ways, and they've used all these patterns in advertising. They know how to do that. And even people who write songs, especially commercially successful songs, are like, hey, do the that really sticks.
I can't do
I
it.
can't with it.
When that song comes on,
We just need one word, Katie. What is it? How about daisies? Okay. Daisies.
every time that song comes on, I pray that Virginia starts just kicking me in the balls, just so there's a diversion, just so there's something to think about that's other than Daisy.
How come you didn't tell me that when the song was on? I would have gladly kicked you in the nuts.
Tomorrow, kick me in the daisies. Daisies, daisies.
How about we do it gonads? Gonads.
Oh, what the shit, Perry?
And I like so much Perry. I really do. She's like got quite a library of stuff that I love. That song is a turd.
Well, every time we're talking and there's just a little bit of silence, all I'm hearing is daisies in my psyche.
Jesus,
And it's
Jesus,
sick stuff. It's making me want to tap out, Coach.
Let me see here. Some of the comments on Facebook. Angie said, keep it up, Kevin. You'll be bilingual in no time. Gosh, I hope so. Yeah, I just need somebody to start chatting with. You know what? There's a lot of people that actually will text me. I like that here during the show, so keep throwing it at me.
You know what happens too? You gotta become obsessed with something.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning to middle of learning it.
Yeah.
You gotta, and I know you're practicing, and I know you're a busy man,
Yeah.
but for you to really get it, it's kind of like playing the guitar or an instrument. If you bust your balls and get obsessed with something, and that's really what you practice a lot with, you would see a major spike in your development.
Yeah.
You're just going at a slower pace.
Well, they say with, and I think the only real way to learn a language is you got to get immersed. You got to go there and basically
Totally.
just have it all around you, all the TV, all the whatever. And I'm trying to listen to Spanish podcasts, all this kind of stuff, and doing everything I can. But yeah, I need a little bit more. Omari said, where and when can we hear Kevin's podcast with discussions on race and progressing past all this? There's 2 that I had done that you can check out. They're on the KVJ Show Facebook page. They're also on our website. If you go to kvjshow.com, it says South Florida United right there. And so both shows are posted right there. And tomorrow, if you get our e-blast, for Juneteenth, I penned a nice little letter to everybody, and I put a whole bunch of different shows, podcasts, books, all these kind of things that you can read if you do care to educate yourself a little bit more, to have a little bit more discussion and all this kind of stuff. So...
Can I plug Weird Whatever too? We did that on Facebook yesterday. I want to thank the audience. We had our highest numbers ever.
It was great. I saw like 13,000 views on that.
Yeah,
did
so
really well.
So thank you,
Yeah.
Facebook.
Nice.
No offense, YouTube. You know, I got much love for you, but you weren't
Yeah.
putting up them kind of numbers.
Yeah.
But it is up on YouTube if you want to go back and watch it.
Gotcha.
Would love to have one of y'all on there one of these days.
I've been on there before.
I know. I'd love to have you back.
Yeah.
Let's do a witch and the bitch.
I'm so down. I think the people need a witch and the bitch, but we got to make sure you're there without any kids with Panda, and there's a little bit of drinking going on. Trust me, we need a little bit of social lubricant.
Yeah, you might get the witch. I don't know if you're getting Panda.
I'll get Panda. I know how to talk to him like you can't. I'm being a dick. I'm having fun over here.
Matt had sent this email. He said, I went to Walmart the other day and I saw this couple just lambasting their kids. And from what I saw, all the kid did was ask if he could look at the display with the beach balls in it. The parents started flipping out on him, kept saying, wait until you get back into the car. You're going to get a whooping.
Aww.
I followed them out, and yes, they did exactly what they said they were going to do. Smack, slap, swat. I know that I should have said something to them, but I also know that it's not really my business. Am I right? Should I have said, done something?
Videotape.
Videotape is a good start on something like that, and getting a license plate. And if you don't want the confrontation, because if those people are unreasonable like that with their children, they're likely going to be equally unreasonable to you. But if you see actual abuse going on, then I think it's like, hey, you need to give that kid a reprieve. And I know the kid might get beat when they get home, but let them know. Be like, hey, I've captured this on film, and you're gonna be getting don't do that to your kid.
And I'm saying
That's abuse.
Capture it on film, not to even blast them on social media. Just go, look, you son of a bitch, and that's when you say it to a person and you want them to be mean. Look, you son of a bitch, I got this on film and we're gonna go viral. Stop hitting your kid. But then do you report that too? Because they're not gonna stop beating their kid.
Yeah, I would just say in that moment, if it's something where in that moment it's getting excessive, because you're not going to impact them for what happens later on. They're going to continue to do that. But if they are in the middle, whoosh, whoosh, and the kid has just had enough, I would step in at that point and be like, you need to get your hands off that kid, because at this point you're abusing that child. That's not discipline, and I got to video this, and I will make sure that somebody comes and pays you a visit.
Do you get involved if someone smacks the ass of their kid? One big whoosh on their ass. Get in the car.
No.
Okay, whoosh, get in the car, you son of a bitch.
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's got to be more than one or two smacks like that for you to...
Typically, it would be more around like the face, neck, if there were things like that were going on. Yeah, I would be like, okay. I believe you have a right to discipline your kids the way you see fit, but... Yeah, I think there becomes a point where you're like, abuse is abuse.
You get involved, V?
I don't know. It just breaks my heart to hear that.
So you let the kid go and you let the guy die on the bench from last week?
Yep.
That guy on the bench was an abused kid.
Fuck him.
Yeah, it's tough. Hopefully these things don't happen around Virginia. And like, Virginia, please, I love your show. Help.
Did you find it weird how Virginia's like, fuck that guy on the bench? I thought that was weird.
I stand by that.
No, that's what I even think is weirder.
I have no qualms about saying I'm not going to shake the sleeping guy on the bench.
No one's... Not to bring it up again, but you don't have to touch the person. Just clap at the guy.
I'm not clapping in that motherfucker's face. No. Not today, not tomorrow. I'm not the one.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. That's a good suggestion. Somebody texted in, said watch kids shows that you've already seen in Spanish or read kids' books. That way you'll have an idea of what's going on and understand it easier.
That's a great tip.
There's some fantastic stuff on YouTube as well, Kev. Very conversational. They break it down in English and in Spanish, and they kind of it's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. So I do appreciate that. So for all of our Spanish speakers, if you find something that's really good, I want to keep using different stuff too. I mean, yeah, no knock on Duolingo. It's fine. It's helped me with the vocabulary and whatnot. But I think maybe switching up, maybe making my brain think other ways would probably be good too. So let me know. All righty, y'all. We got one more day left.
Damn, it's over? I was just starting to cook, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, you're on fire. Calm down.
Yeah. Okay. So we get you to the weekend starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. Thanks for being here today. Have a great one. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.